Hello YouTube, this is Booty and welcome back to StarCraft 2. This time around, we're going to be doing a replay review. This is a replay of a game I did just yesterday actually. And I figured this could be a good opportunity to show you guys how you can review your own games. And spoiler alert, this game was lost. From what I could tell, like during the game itself, it was pretty close though. But anyways, I don't think there's a way to take off Fog of War, is there? I think this is all that we see. Or actually, I guess Fog of War is off anyways, right? Yeah. Yeah, PvZ, we were both platinum. Speed this up a little bit. I'm gonna be able to render this at 60 frames a second, because it doesn't matter as much when I'm watching a replay, so I don't have to worry about the lag messing me up. And this sound is really, really low. I did turn on music, right? For some reason, I don't hear it whatsoever. Anyways, this is the build that I've been doing a lot recently in pretty much all of the matchups. I think, from what I can tell, it's a good build no matter what matchup it is. And basically, what you do is you chrono the Nexus for the first time, and just to clarify, you don't chrono the Nexus until after your first pylon is done. And then you save the next chrono for that Zealot that I just pumped out. This is like an 18, 19-ish pylon, and I got this on 16 supply. And basically, as soon as the gate's done, I start my Cybo core. And depending on the game... Okay, now that's too loud. What the fuck? Depending on the game, you can get an extra Zealot or two. I don't really recommend getting an extra Zealot, though, most of the time. Unless your opponent's just being really, really greedy, but... Especially versus Zerg, this is usually what happens. Is you push out, you get a drone or two, and you don't really do much else. So, okay, right out of the gate, 3.15 move speed on the Zealot. And even though these guys don't even have speed, they're faster. So I might as well be stutter stepping. That way I'm at least dealing as much damage as I can. Even if I don't kill Lings, at least I'm putting my opponent in a position where, you know, he can't just push in with the Lings because I'm going to have another unit ready. Oh, and this is another thing that I want to talk about, is the wall ops. I've been trying to work on my wall ops, because that's like the main thing that fucks me up in this matchup. You put a pylon in this top corner, and you should have build grid turned on. So, you put it there, and then you put your gateway about this position right below it. And then you put the Cybo there, Zealot there. Now the caveat is you can't put your Robo up here for obvious fucking reasons, unless you prefer to use a Warp Prism to get all your Immortals and whatnot out. Although I think maybe a Colossus can go through here. I mean, it can go down here anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter, but the Colossus has a weirdly tiny hitbox, or collision box, with the other units. And I gotta say, I fucking love this build, or this skin. One of these days I need to get the mecha skins for Zerg. There's kind of a mecha skin line for Protoss, but I don't think it's nearly as cool. It's the Purifier one. Although I really like how Zealots look with the Purifier skin. And, you know, after my pressure fails, it's more about forcing him to make units. I didn't force a lot of units. Now, a little bit of hindsight hero. Now, okay, I got these 2 units here. This is a wall-off that's kind of shaky, right? I need 2 units to hold this, but it leaves me with just enough space to get my Immortals and my Archons out without too much of a hassle. And I got my Stalker out after my Adept to my Zealot. These are 2 pretty good units just to make sure you don't get killed by a Zerg all-in. Ling all-in. Man, that Overlord looks weird. And you're gonna use this Stalker to push out, pick off Overlords, of course. And you gotta remember to put those units back in place, immediately. So, yeah, I could have been faster on that. It's a little bit finicky. So, I'm not really the biggest fan of that particular wall-up, and I'm probably gonna have to work on that. I gotta watch, more videos to study how this shit works. But, right out of the gate, Now, obviously, we have vision in the replay, but... And where... Did I make a... Oh yeah, I think my robo-bait was really short. Or it was really late. Because I think what happened this game... is, actually, if I rewind it a bit, I'm pretty sure I got the Stargate faster, right? Nope, no, I'm retarded. I got it. And... Okay, yeah, this isn't... There is a Spire in this game. In this story, it's gonna play a big role in that. I guess I only got the Stargate for an Oracle. There's this really retarded cheese that I've been doing. It's kind of a troll move, and I don't really recommend doing it. Although I'm still working on it and trying to, like, perfect the strategy just because it's funny. And we'll see it once this Oracle pops out. But yeah, I am pressuring this. I could have done it sooner. And I don't know why. I could have brought these units over. Potentially these units. It's a little bit risky, so I don't really recommend doing it that way, but... Like, Zerg is pretty greedy right now. He's making a lot of drones. And these aren't nearly enough Zerglings to hold all this. And remember that PvZ is all about delaying your opponent's economy. Not just in terms of worker kills, but... Just forcing him to make units instead of drones gives you a big economic advantage. My Oracle's out. Ideally, I want to have it rallied, like, immediately. Yeah, this is the Spire that kind of throws me off this game. Now get ready for some autism. Alright. This is my strategy. Instead of turning on the pulsar beam, I'm gonna do this. There you go. The queen can't even get around there, barely. And my Oracle just barely gets out of there. Now, we back that up a little bit. I'm pretty sure I could have avoided all that damage. Yeah, like, this is just dumb, greedy pathing. I should be pathing, like, up here more. Then I could, like, go right here, put down my stasis ward. Because if you actually get it off, it's actually really, really useful. In my opinion, Oracles are not very good against Zerg, unless you make a lot of them. I see some Protoss players that like to actually make like 6 Oracles or some shit, and just go in on Zerg early. Obviously, my build doesn't really entertain that strategy, and I don't like doing that anyways, cause... Like, God help you if he makes enough Spore Crawlers, you know? And the nice thing about the, using the Stasis Ward as opposed to the Pulsar Beam is that you can kind of, like, outrange the Spore Crawler with it. And this, I think I make a Phoenix pretty quickly after I see this. Now, it may not look like it, but I'm actually misplaying pretty hard right now. Because, okay, just word of advice, just good general rule of thumb when you're against Zerg as Protoss, you should always strive to get at least some disruptors. The Templar tech is good, and it's good that I'm getting some AoE, but... And I guess in this particular case, it's not too bad. I am pushing, or harassing with this. It sucks that I lose the Prism. And this is the point of the game where it becomes very hard to harass Zerg. I don't even think I know about this, do I? No. I'm getting my own third. It's kind of... This is kind of... Like, I need more, units to defend that. I should have my army in position by the third right now. And I'm just hanging on to these probes until the third is done, of course. And... Wait, did I not get a forge? Okay, that's another thing I gotta work on. And I think it makes more sense to get a forge, like, on 2 bases, or, like, right before you expand. I'm pushing with these guys. Now... I don't think I was really aware up until this point that he was gonna go heavy on the Hydra, because usually I see Zerg players go heavy on roaches, but I think my main concern here, and why I pushed, is I'm like, okay, he's gonna try to go for mass muta, because that's usually what the other guy will do. Okay, let's see this Oracle action. Yeah, I fucked up there. I do have enough energy for 2 wards. Yeah. That's part of the reason why Oracles aren't too good. So I can, like, go over to the side here and put a ward right here and not get hit. But I'm not gonna... I don't think I'm gonna hit enough drones to really justify it. And these guys don't even have Storm yet. They're still waiting on the energy. It's not too much longer. And this is a pretty clutch hold. And this is also an example of, like, why you should get Disruptors. Even though he's Hydra heavy. Like... So this is how the AoE in this matchup works, alright? Basically, Disruptors, you ideally want them mostly for Roaches, but really they're good against Hydras as well, especially before they have speed. They're faster, you get the AoE a lot quicker. Like, High Templar are very awkward to transition into, especially when they're the first AoE that you're getting. I should have put down some batteries over here. And yeah, I kind of just barely get enough storms around here. I should be getting a lot more zealots. I only have 5 gateways. I am building some more right now, though. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I gotta get some batteries right now. I should be moving all these workers over here, like, as soon as it's done. And this is another thing, is I don't have a lot of map vision. Now, one thing that you can do, just to, like, keep tabs on your opponent, is, you can send out a couple probes to these expansions, the ones closest to the Zerg. You can check if he did, like, a ninja expansion. And this is just the power of Protoss. Okay, like, Zerg, going Zealot heavy against Hydras, very powerful, of course. Of course, now, my opponent should have gone for Lurkers. I don't know why he didn't, because that would... He probably would have killed me a lot quicker if he just teched the Lurkers. Because High Templar are not terrible against Lurkers, but I'm pretty sure that either the Disruptor 1 hits or 2 hits the Lurkers. But either way, they're really good against Lurkers. I'm pretty sure you can only kill them with Storm, with like 2 Storms anyways. Like, if I just had a Disruptor here, I just throw a ball with this Roach Ball. And we can see, like, how meh Psionic Storm is. It's not the worst, but, yeah, it's very inefficient. And I think this is where I start seeing my opponent going for... Oh, actually, I built these Phoenix really, really early. Before I even saw him make a single muta. Which, incidentally, is going to be useful to me, but... That's... kind of a hit to my unit count. 118 to 148 supply. I could have gotten Disruptors more. And I really half-assed my upgrades. I should have 2 forges. I don't know why I'm fucking around here. Okay, finally, but I'm so absurdly behind in upgrades, that's really gonna hurt. Another thing that I need to work on is the Robo Facility. This is something that I really need to force myself to do more often, not just in PvZ, but like every matchup. Once it reaches the mid-game phase, you want 2 Robo Bays, I think. Or Robo Facilities, you know what I mean. That way you can, like, get Disruptors, you can get Immortals when you need them. Stalker Immortal is probably the most decent against Roaches, along with Disruptor support. But the other thing is I can get, like, Observers out quicker. Because I don't think I have a lot of them in this game. I don't have any right now. And I think I'm suspecting... Yeah, I'm kind of assuming that my opponent has this expansion, which is reasonable. I'm just waiting for my, High Templar to show up, so I can pressure this. But if you have a... Oh, wait, yeah. This is where I'm realizing, now I kind of miscontrol these, because, like, I'm paranoid I'm gonna lose the Phoenix. But I should be, like, actively microing them. To, like, harass these mutas. And I am double pumping these. In retrospect, I probably should have just gotten one Stargate, because basically until I actually see him go heavy on the Hydra, or go heavy on the Muta, I should just stick to one Stargate. If I see him massing it up, he's kind of doing it now, but, like, pumping out with Chrono, just one Phoenix at a time is not the worst. And you did see me send a probe there, just to check this expansion, so now I know that's taken. But if I had a Warp Prism, I could have made some Zealots, possibly thrown down a Dark Templar Shrine. And I really gotta get guys on this gas immediately. I'm trying to expand behind this, which is... The main reason it's bad is just because I don't have enough good AoE to deal with this. Excuse me, I had to blow my nose. Fucking allergies, man. I got my Phoenix to support, so I can... Oh, yeah. Yeah. This is just unfortunate pathing. What you can do, of course, is just follow your High Templar instead of letting them move around alone, but it's not too often that you're going to see a Zerg player do that kind of flank. Or probably just a good habit in general. And I got all these units that aren't fucking firing, which is really bad. And I focused down this, because I'm like, okay, I gotta make progress on this fucking economy. Take him down. And we can see that, his supply is dwindling pretty hard. And I should be focusing that down. Oh my god, do I really not get this? The 7 HP hatchery. I did not... I remember getting that. What the fuck? It's really bad. And the other thing is I need to get sentries. Like, yeah, they're not the best in the mid-game, but, like, just look at this map. This is a map that is just fucking ripe for force field abuse, you know? I could have force fielded this off so we can't get off that flank. Possibly force fielded this. I don't even really need that many sentries. I only needed, like, 6 or 8, maybe 10 at worst. Just to support my army. Plus, you can take away his agency to run away from Disruptor Balls, or even Psionic Storm. So I could have gotten this, and then recalled the fuck out immediately and been fine. But because I took that really bad trade, I'm gonna lose this 4th. And at this point, my economy basically falls apart. One Colossi obviously isn't going to cut it. You really need, like, at least 3 of these. To be fair, I don't even think Colossi are very good at all right now. Like, if you're lazy and you want some splash damage that you don't really need to particularly micro, I guess Colossi are okay, but these motherfuckers are just overpriced, to be honest. How much is this shit? 300, 200. For a unit that deals 17 against light, which isn't as good as you might think it is. Like, if I storm this army, he's just done. But instead, I'm fucking around with these guys. And I should not be engaging this. But I think I'm just getting desperate. The main reason why I shouldn't be engaging this is because I'm Stalker heavy. And did I get Blink? I did get Blink. The Stalkers are good to, like, zone the Corruptors, though. And, yeah, every time I see Corruptors, I start wondering, like, okay, when's he gonna get Broodlord? This motherfucker doesn't even have a fucking hive yet, that's pretty bad. So I guess neither of us really played particularly well this game. And, this is something I should have done much, much earlier. And we're gonna see a good example of why. Now, attacking 2 places at once in general is always a good move. Here, it's kind of finicky, alright? I mean, he doesn't really have that many units here, but I don't have any zealots with this army, so I shouldn't even be forcing this, but I'm desperate, and I'm like, I gotta do something about this economy, or I'm just gonna get fucked over. And I check this base, I realize there's nothing there, and basically I suicide my zealots in for this, which is actually a good move for, like, the mid to late game phase, as long as you're not suiciding a lot of them. Although I could be using Recall to save the zealots as well. I have a healthy dosage of gateways, but the fact that I can't secure this 4th, again, because of the lack of splash damage, is really fucking me over. Get the queen. I do some good work here, and we look at the income. I mean, Zerg is still definitely ahead of me, but it's not as ridiculous as it was earlier. And obviously, his production's down a little bit. If I had gotten this expansion and focused it down, that would have probably made this game pretty different. I might have actually won, maybe. Ish. Like, just by starving him out. And see, 1300. This motherfucker's running dry, you know? It's not looking too good. And we have almost the same harvester count. I'm a little bit behind him. And it looks like he's gonna be... Is he gonna run by? He might do a run by. And yeah, I'm making sure to shut that down. Oh, is he just gonna flank? He should be going for this. Especially when you see this many zealots, like, fuck that. That was kind of a shady storm right there. Generally, you don't really need to storm Zerglings if you have a lot of, zealots. And if you're wondering, like, if Adepts would be good here, no. I'll tell you right now, Adepts suck dick. Even though they're designed to, like, be good against, light units, they still get outclassed by Zealots. Zealots are cheaper, they're easier to mass up, and ironically, they have more fucking attack speed than them. Even though Adepts are supposed to be, like, almost glass cannons. And yeah, again, well, first of all, Zealots obviously suck against Roaches, right? But the other issue is I don't have Disruptors. And yeah, I kind of tap out here. I'm like, okay, fuck this, I'm done. And, I start running out of money, and it becomes very hard for me to even, like, tech Disruptors at this point. And I had my Robobay just sitting here doing nothing. Again, I could have had, like, 2 Robos, like, right here, double pump them out, and I could have salvaged this game decently. Of course, the upgrades are a big issue. Let's take a look right now. 2-1 against 2-2. I mean, not too crazy, but... yeah, he was trying to, like, split up upgrades between ranged and melee, which generally is only something you want to do on a big economy. Alright, now, I fucked up a little, I left the fucking mic off. I'm a professional, yeah, anyways, let's take a look at this income, see what happens. So, it actually is a very strong hit to his economy as a result of me doing this. So if you can actually do this, then it's fucking awesome. This is the perfect money shot. And this is why I would much rather do that as opposed to relying on fucking the Pulsar Beam. Because it takes too long to, like, really work at his economy. And Oracles aren't nearly as good as they used to be. I don't know, like, it feels like the Pulsar Beam just doesn't last as long as it used to. I'm just crazy. And I actually probably could have ended the game, or, well, maybe not ended the game, but I could have at least taken down this third. Like, it would have been trivial. I had this fucking Oracle, or, excuse me, this Observer sitting here all day, doing nothing, but staring at this fucking spire. And then I suicide the Oracle like a retard. This Observer, like, once I see the tech, it's good to check for tech, obviously. But after I see it, I should just move down here, where my opponent's army is. I would have seen, this guy barely has any units. And I probably would have seen this extra fort, so he's really, really greedy. You know? Like, even right now, he doesn't even have... This isn't even saturated. I mean, it's... Okay, it's pretty much saturated now, but it took a while for him to saturate it. And I would have gotten the information. I could have pushed with this army, with that warp prism, and taken this down. While still pressuring this with my Oracle. Or, you know, I could have gone to the natural and, like, put a ward right there. And especially when you're pushing, it's very hard for them to pay attention. And they don't get the warning that they would if you use Pulsar Beam. So, you really fuck them over. If you do it just right. What the hell is that? There's an interesting little robot. It looks like a giant dragoon. caught, like... the fuck? Just blue energy or something. Anyways... I think that about covers it, really. As far as, like, what I could have done to, like, win this game. I mean, that early mistake in particular, like, now that I look at it, that is a huge misplay. That I did not scout his army, and I realized, oh man, I could have taken down that third. And between this and this, okay, I could have possibly pressured this or this. And I need to, like, I have so many probes anyways, I should send probes to, like, here and here. I don't have to block with a pylon. That's kind of finicky, I think, but at the very least, I should, like, know when it's going down. You know? And I think that's about it. So yeah, that's StarCraft 2. Hopefully, you guys learned something about the matchup. I know I learned something quite a bit about this matchup, because, like, I'm always wondering, do I necessarily need to get Colossi or Disruptors? And, Disruptors take a shit on Zerg. And hopefully you learned how to, like, look at your replays. Obviously, this is Platinum and Diamond, so fundamentals always matter, but it's more so here an issue of decision-making and just the efficiency with my composition. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Have fun, and I'll probably make more StarCraft 2 content soon. I really want to do more of these replay reviews some point. Of course, if you guys really want to, you can, like, submit replays to me that I can look over too. Doesn't matter what league.